Carne Asada was already delicious, but when you use this specific cut of beef, I swear you take it to a whole new level. And when you throw in a Chipotle Marinade that doubles as a salsa, as well as some incredible homemade tortillas, you have a taco you're never gonna forget, my friends. You know the deal, there's no time to waste. Now let's go! All right, let's start with the marinade for this Carne Asada. I've been making this marinade for years now. I really love it. I don't know how super authentic it is, so don't come at me. But trust me when I say it is super delicious, and I'm sure if you try it, you are gonna love it too and add it to your cooking arsenal. You could obviously just blend this up in a blender, but I'm using this molcajete, and I'm starting there with some shallots and some garlic. Definitely sub out the shallots for a normal onion if you want. Just a little sprinkle of salt. That's really just to help everything grind up. So I'm gonna start just by smashing all this up. Now, after a couple of minutes here, I've got this nice paste. I'm gonna add some cilantro stalks, smash that in a little bit. Now I'm going in with my chipotle peppers here and just work that in until you get a paste. Now a little Sergeant Gilbert reporting for duty. That's just black pepper going in a little bit. My friends, if you're new here, the recipe will always be located in the description under the video. I've also got some whole cumin seeds here. I just roasted in a pan over medium heat for about 4 minutes. Let them cool and grind them up, but you can obviously always just use already pre-ground cumin. In goes the cumin and work it. Soy sauce going in. Some traditionalists might not agree with this, but it just adds this umami punch of flavor that you're just not gonna get from salt. Incredible, and I love how it darkens this up as well. Now, lime juice, work that in. And now the last thing I'm gonna do is just work in this avocado oil. You could use any kind of neutral oil you want for this. I just happen to like avocado. And we'll just work that in until it emulsifies nicely. And there we have it. And I'll tell you what, this is so delicious on its own that I made extra marinade. And so I'm gonna save a little less than half of this. It works so well as a salsa to finish your tacos as well as a marinade. Now here I have a cut of beef that I absolutely love. It's called flap steak. I think people are still kind of sleeping on this one. Let me know in the comments if you know about flap steak and if you love it too. But as you can see here, it's just loaded with intermuscular fat. This is just one of those cuts, if I see it at the butcher and it looks good, I always get it. However, some other popular choices for carne asada would be like skirt steak or even flank steak. You can make it with whatever steak you want. Don't let anything stop you from cooking. Don't let that happen. And as you can see here with this steak, all the grains are running like this. And so what I want to do is cut it into nice pieces like this, about that size. And when I'm doing this, the whole time I'm thinking about the taco and how it's gonna work in the end, right? Let's just take a moment right now to appreciate that fat. And after we marinate and grill these, we'll slice this way into perfect little slices, and that'll just be a great size for a taco. So we'll just drop our pieces in here, get our marinade on, and give it a little beefy massage. And there we go. Now we'll cap it. And so you know this marinade is pretty fierce, pretty punchy, pretty strong. So I'm gonna marinate for 4 to 6 hours. But if you wanna do this overnight, I'm sure you could get away with that as well. Now, while that meat is marinating, allow me to bring up today's sponsor, Ritual. I don't know about you, but it's hard for me to maintain a perfect diet throughout my life, especially with what I do here with food. I love food. Ritual helps people fill the gaps in their diets without any shady additives, fillers, or colorants. These 2 easy-to-take capsules provide 10 nutrients to support a strong foundation to your health. And what I really love about Ritual is their transparency in the ingredients that they use and why. And you can actually trace the decision-making process behind each one of their ingredients, from where they source them and even their environmental impact. They also use 100% recycled materials, and mailers are made from recycled newsprint and plant fibers. They even use plant-based ink, so that's pretty cool. Ritual is the obsessively researched and transparently made multivitamin. And their Essential for Men multivitamin contains 10 high-quality nutrients like vitamin A, D, omega-3, and zinc. The delayed release capsule design is gentle on an empty stomach, and there's even this mint tab in every bottle, and it smells really fresh and nice. They also have a great multivitamin for women, so this is not just for men. They're vegan-friendly, they're non-GMO, they're gluten-free, allergen-free, and contain no added sugar. So transparency is at the core of everything Ritual does. They have searched the globe for the best suppliers around the world, so Ritual offers a deliver-to-your-door subscription. And it's only $1 a day to have 10 high-quality nutrients that your body needs. You can save 20% today by clicking the link down in the description and using the code TDCC20. Again, that's ritual.com/TDCC20. Now back to the tacos. Now, if you can find a good store-bought tortilla, go for it, right? And I will say for tacos, most of the time I prefer corn, but for the last couple months, I've been making these flour tortillas, and they are just really special. And I would say they're also really easy to make. Here's how you do it. So here we have all-purpose flour. We're gonna mix in baking powder and salt. The recipe will be in the description in both metric and imperial systems. Now here I have whole milk, water, which I'm just gonna pour into the milk, and this, which I'm very proud of. This is the butter left over from the video where I cooked a steak in a whole bunch of butter. And I understand you don't have butter steak butter left over, right? Just use regular butter. You could use beef fat. You could use lard, which is traditional and preferred probably. But just know that virtually any oil or fat will work in this recipe. And so butter's going in here with the milk and the water. And then I'm just gonna warm this whole thing up. You could use a pot, you could use a microwave. It doesn't really matter. We just need to bring it up to 105 degrees Fahrenheit. Once your wet ingredients are warmed up, we'll just add that into the middle of the flour and just begin working that all together. And once it's roughly together, we'll just tip that out and we'll just begin kneading it with our hands to bring it together the rest of the way. And after just a few minutes of kneading, your dough should be nice and smooth with just a very slight stickiness to it. And since I'm doing tacos today, I'm just gonna make these slightly over an ounce. 1 ounce is fine, which comes out to about 30 grams. And as you can see, it is quite small. If you wanna do burritos or breakfast burritos, go for a 4.2 ounce ball, which is about 120 grams. So this recipe made 19 tacos, which is awesome. And what we're gonna do now is just cover it with a kitchen towel and let these rest for 45 minutes before cooking them. Now, once our dough has rested, we'll lightly flour a work surface and we'll take a dough ball, just smash it down a little bit first with your hands, and then we'll just start rolling out, doing a quarter turn, pushing out again, quarter turn, push out. And we're gonna repeat that process until it's really thin. I want to be able to see the table a little bit through it, because if we do this right, and it is difficult to roll these out, but if we do it right, this whole thing should puff up. Might not be perfectly round, but I think it's the right thickness, which is more important. Now I'm going to drop it into a medium heat pan, just totally dry, no oil or anything. And you can already see all those amazing little bubbles forming. So this is the way I learned how to do it, is first we're cooking it for 15 seconds on this side, then we flip, and we'll cook for another 40 seconds on this side. You can see it now puffing up here. If you roll it really well, this whole thing will puff up. I'm still working on my skills for that. Now, after those 40 seconds, we flip back and we cook for another 15 seconds. So that's a total of about 1 minute and 15 seconds and it's done. And you'd have to be kind of crazy not to just take a little butter like this, little salt on there. I mean, you've done the work. Oh, this is just so good on its own. I will never stop making these. All right, I got a nice wood fire going outside, and here I have an onion just sliced in half sitting in some oil. That's how we clean the grill and also leave a really nice onion scent. All right, I've got my beautiful meat here. Go ahead and get that on. With all that soy sauce in the marinade, it really shouldn't need more salt, although if it needs a little, I'll just put that on once it's cooked, but it should be good. I'll do the old quarter turn after about 3 minutes and let them roll. Now I'll go ahead and flip. Oh man, that is looking nice. Woo! God, this smells so good. Now, if you ask me, it would be kind of weird to have a medium rare taco, right? So I'm gonna pull these about 135 degrees. Should come up to medium or maybe even slightly past and just have a nice little pink throughout. I think that's fine. Also, if you wanna cut these thinner, cook them all the way through and just chop it up traditional style, that's awesome too. So I'm just pulling these off as they hit 135 internal. Some pieces are bigger like these ones. These probably took about 15 minutes. The small pieces, 8 to 10. Now, after a good 7-minute rest, I'm gonna slice in. This little tail end will obviously be a little overcooked because it's thinner, but as we get into this, oh, this is exactly what I was going for. A nice blushing pink throughout, but not like a medium rare steak. So I would just slice up whatever you're gonna use for the tacos right away, and let's build these things. Can we just take a second to admire this? Can you see the tenderness we have achieved here? This flat meat is unbelievable. All right, let's build some of our meat. Unbelievably tender here. And whether you like it or not, I'm doing some avocado, a little bit of that marinade we saved, which is also a salsa, and then how about a little raw onion and cilantro? Well, this is exciting. Fridge, I'm gonna kick you. I wanted to throw a utensil down, realized I didn't have one. I mean, that meat in there is just so freaking delicious. Well, my friends, thank you for hanging out with me today. And you know the deal, drop a like, leave a comment if you so wish, and turn on notifications if you want to be a psycho, and I love my psychos. And until next time, my sweet friends, you know I love you in the mouth.